All right, 17 newsmakers now this morning as third in command of the House Republicans. You've been seeing a lot of Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy lately. His main job as whip is to get party members in line if and when a national budget vote happens. Congressman Kevin McCarthy joins us live now this morning from Washington by satellite with an update on the budget stalemate. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us here. Have you been involved in the overnight talks at the White House? And if not, what has Congressman Boehner told you?
Well, I've been meeting very often with the Speaker. This is a negotiations over funding. Now, you know why we're here. When the Democrats were in the majority, they never passed a budget. After the election, they only funded government to March 8th. We have passed a budget for the rest of the fiscal year, but for the last 48 days, the Senate has done nothing. So now we're in the negotiations in the final hour. Because we're in the final hour, the Republicans yesterday passed out of the House that we would fund defense, because we do not want our troops to be harmed for the rest of the fiscal year, and extend government for another week while cutting $12 billion. Unfortunately, the Democrats in the Senate won't bring the bill up. So we're coming down to really the argument over 1/5 of 1 penny of every dollar. Democrats want to continue to spend more, and we want to see that we live within our means.
But let's talk about one of the other issues. Republicans are fighting for other things, for provisions that would restrict abortion services through Planned Parenthood and limit the ability of the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, to regulate pollutants. Democrats say your policy-based demands are derailing the budget talks. Why not just focus on the budget?
You know, they can say that, but then why don't they agree to higher spending? You know, I'm a part of the negotiations here, so I really know what we're negotiating about. We're negotiating about money. We borrow 40 cents out of every dollar, mainly from China. We know we cannot sustain this. With a $1.6 trillion deficit, look, the argument has been from day one when the President came to the State of the Union. He said he wanted to freeze spending after he's increased it 83% in the last 3 years. We said no, we're going to have to cut it. That is a fundamental philosophical argument, but I think every household in Kern County has to tighten their belt, and why shouldn't American government tighten their belt as well?
And Congressman, let's talk about that. If this shutdown does happen, members of the military, thousands of people potentially here in Kern County will not see a paycheck, as well as government workers being furloughed. If you guys can't get a budget together, should you and other members of Congress forego your checks as well?
Well, first of all, shame on the Democrats if it gets shut down, because we passed an extension that it cleanse it another week and take the defense out of play, that they are going to be funded for the entire rest of the fiscal year. Why play politics with people that are defending our freedom? Shame on the Democrats for even thinking about doing that. We're not hitting here shutting it down. We have extended it twice. We have a bill for the rest of the year. The Senate has never produced something in 48 days. The President, when he got engaged, he sent the Vice President down here to negotiate us one day and left the country for 2 weeks.
And let me ask you, though,
Let's
Congressman,
remember why we're here and what we're fighting for.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that government is funded all the way through.
But should you give up your paycheck if there is no budget?
I will not take my paycheck if we're shut down. Come on, I've never done that before. But let's not play politics with this. Let's get this country straightened out. Let's play with the facts, Kiyoshi. Look at it. They've had a bill for 48 days. We funded the troops. If they do not fund the troops, shame on them.